All over the place. Went to
It's better to have that mindset than
oh yeah, no, he's all over it. He's like, I'm gonna be driving to weeks. I'm like, I'm hungry now. We actually went to the Rays game once.
nice.
So amazing.
How the Rays doing? I haven't watched the Rays game in some time.
Well, I hadn't been to one in years.
Yeah,
Because he loves them, but I couldn't.
yeah.
But it was
I
fun.
kind of fell out of it
Stadium
in
is
college. Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's really nice. And like I said, I haven't been in a long time. Of course, they won.
Oh,
It's
cool.
nice. But the food stuff was really nice.
Yeah, Lynn was upset because she took her grandson and they got good seats by the dugout where they were, but they were losing, so they were not interacting with any of the fans. And so we had all these little kids there.
Oh,
I'm like, oh, you can't do that.
thinking her father would be mad. Some parking. Good morning, everybody. Please, good morning. So welcome to 1 Million Cups. We're going to go ahead and get started. My name is Kate Heath, and I am one of the organizers here. Oh, hello. I also had to say hi. I'm one of the organizers here. My day job is that I lead marketing and communications for a startup here in town, a defense tech startup. And I'm also a coach at Embark Collective, which is the startup hub that's a couple blocks away across from the stadium. So how many people, well, one, I guess, anybody park over here? First things first. In this little lot here?
That one right over there.
Okay, this little lot here, you have to move across the street because I'll tell you if you're here, we park across the street in the big lot. So make sure you guys go take a minute to run your car over there because they will tag and tow. So be careful about that. So that's our housekeeping moment. Anybody a first timer? First time to 1 Million Cups. Proud, loud and proud too. All right, great. Oh, awesome. How did you find out about us? Just right here. All right. So, and why did you bring her?
She's an entrepreneur already. So she has been to the center and I told her this is a great place to come and be around like-minded people and see what everybody else is doing.
Yep.
So it'll keep you motivated on moving forward.
That is a great reason to come. I think there's a lot of value in just being here in the audience. If you're an entrepreneur, you learn a lot by listening to other people. So it sounds like most people in the room then, you know what 1 Million Cups is, you know how it works. Started by the Kauffman Foundation. So all over the country right now, maybe time difference changes, but Wednesday mornings at 9, people are getting together in rooms just like this to hear from would-be founders and entrepreneurs about their ideas. So just a reminder that these pitches are not investor pitches. So they're not here to try to get your money and evaluate you on return, right? They're here to hear your story, to hear about the problem that you want to solve, who has that problem, how I'm going to solve it differently, and why I'm the person to solve it. So if you don't see anything about Tam, Sam, and Sam, you don't hear anything about, I would like $2 million, like this is not Shark Tank, right? This is Manatee Tank. So all of our questions are high level. All of our questions are grounded in compassion and curiosity and kindness. And you will be called on by this actual speaker when it's your turn to ask. Any questions about how it works? Since everybody's kind of old hat, I don't think so. All right, so social media, if you wouldn't mind, take some pictures today and talk about your morning and your experience here. We've got handles on all of the major platforms, Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, and YouTube are some variation of 1 Million Cups in Tampa. So it would be great if you would tag us, take a few shots, tag the presenters, tag their businesses if they have a page. So presenters, always tell us if you have an Instagram or a LinkedIn page, let us know so we can tag you and help you get a little visibility going. It helps us out too for the chapter. QR codes on the tables. Most of y'all know this. The flat code checks you into the meeting, doesn't get you any junk mail or anything like that. The code that's standing up will get you on the ECC's mailing list, which is only once a week. It'll tell you all the events that are coming up here in this building. This building is an awesome resource for any Tampa entrepreneur or small business owner. And we'll talk a little bit more about some of the classes and programs that are available here at the end of the hour. All right, so with that, I think I'm gonna have our first presenter come up. Mr. Terrell, are you ready? Okay, so we have Terrell Humphrey with his startup, which is called Failure is Knowledge.
Thank you. Thank you. Just gonna test up here. Good morning, everyone. Y'all can hear me. That's okay. Y'all can hear myself as well. Let me know when you're ready. Well,
Go ahead.
is the timer up here or the timer?
I got one over here.
Okay, perfect. And it's really loud. Okay. So good morning, everyone. My name is Terrell Humphrey. And let's go ahead and get it started. So hello, let me start up. My name is Terrell Humphrey, and I was born and raised in Little Rock, Arkansas. And I was raised by a single mom who raised 3 boys by herself. When I was in the 3rd grade, I got my first D as in devastated. And I thought my mama was gonna whoop my butt, gonna discipline me. So when I took my report card to her, she said, "Son, you gotta do better." From that moment forward, I was like, okay, it's not okay to fail, but it's okay to try. And throughout the time, as I got older, I ended up going to the Marine Corps. And while I was serving in the country, I started to learn more about podcast. Well, it wasn't podcasting, but how to create content. You see this tripod right here? Imagine the tripod, 3 books underneath it, the camera angle still not tall enough. So I put 3 books underneath it, tilted down, and I still wasn't able to be in the camera. Nonetheless, I started to learn more about how to put myself out there, how to record content. And then over time, I started to learn that I was podcasting. I started to learn I was helping others with their market their business effectively. And then when I started to recognize that I was helping people through podcasts, and I was like, "Ooh, I found my lane." So now we help established entrepreneurs launch their podcasts with confidence, and we produce over 893 podcast episodes while helping 30 entrepreneurs launch their podcasts with confidence. So while podcasting builds trust, not I get it, numbers is like all over the place, but to get clarity, 80% of listeners finish most episodes, 62% of professionals listen to podcasts weekly, 54% feel more connected after hearing authentic stories. What are the numbers saying? People are listening to you. They might not respond, they might not comment, they might not share. See, people are listening to you. Okay, people are listening, even animals are listening to you. So just because people are not responding doesn't mean that people are not listening. What it means is that you're growing awareness, you're growing brain, you're growing impact. So hopefully it plays. Okay. I don't know how to play it though. Do I just press the button?
Try clicking on it.
It doesn't play. Anywho, that's okay. So this is my one of my buddies. His name is Bill Murphy, and he's the owner of a lecture. And the video was going to show you before he started working with us, and after. Like it was good, but you can't necessarily see the video. So how we help? We actually bring the production to you from my right, y'all left. Okay, this right here is us bringing the production to you. So all you have to do is sit down, we record, we edit, and we publish a podcast as well. Right here in the middle is a conference with Voices of Wind, the Tampa Bay Business Club. We actually had the pleasure of helping them launch a podcast in person because they had a conference, panels, and all these different things. And right here, this is Bo. He's the owner of Mango Space. We had a podcast with him and just helping him market his business more effectively through podcasting. So leaders feedback. Did a workshop here actually at the ECC a while ago, and it says, what are your thoughts after attending this workshop? And it says, stop procrastinating and just start. We have the VSA to do a podcast. Quite honestly, I have no idea what VSA means.
No,
So
it's not.
Okay, it is,
It's-
it is.
Knowledge, skills,
Knowledge,
and abilities.
thank you. Yes, okay, yeah.
I'm an educator.
Good. An educator actually wrote that. Makes sense. So essentially, stop procrastinating. You have everything that you need to record your content and put yourself out there. So these are the prices and services that we offer. We offer podcast editing. If you have a podcast, if you recorded episodes, a lot of entrepreneurs that we work with, they have a lot of content, but they have a lot of content, don't know anything to do with it. The middle one is podcast recording. If you don't have any podcast recording, we help you record the podcast with confidence, so that way you don't have to figure out how to podcast. And the last one is the conference, the one that we show you in the middle. So last thing, this slide is supposed to be that slide is the last slide. So I'm gonna leave you with this. Last thing, don't be afraid to fail, because failure is knowledge. Thank y'all.
Terrell? Yes, okay, so he's a regular, so he knows. The first question is, how can the community help you?
Well, first, I want to say thank you for the opportunity again. This is phenomenal. Definitely enjoyed myself. Introduction to entrepreneurs, event organizers, and or business conferences. Like anybody who knows any conferences that are going on that need help with marketing or marketing through podcasting, I would definitely love an introduction.
All right, so we'll open it up for Q&A and feedback for Terrell. Please raise your hand and he will call on you.
Morning.
Good morning.
So do you podcast yourself?
Yes,
For
I do.
your connection? So you're trying to connect with local businesses that you want to have on your podcast?
So yes, in addition to that, we help entrepreneurs launch their podcast as well. So the same way we help our podcast, which is Failure is Knowledge, is the same way we help entrepreneurs launch their podcast. So that way you don't have to figure out what to say, what to speak about, how to edit, how to post. The same thing that we do for us, we do for entrepreneurs.
You're really focusing on training people to how to present in a podcast more so than looking for new content?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Great question.
How do you market it?
How do I market?
Service.
That is a great question. Through podcasting, we produced over 893 podcast episodes. We actually had the pleasure of interviewing the Tampa Bay Buccaneers COO. So we market ourselves through in-person interactions online. So very consistent with podcasting online and then in person. So that way, then in person feeds online feeds the podcasting, just like a cycle. So to answer your question, we market ourselves is through online, speaking engagements, and through interviews.
Second part of the question. How do you have like a set schedule? How does that work when it comes to actual podcasting your program? Like Saturdays, Sundays, or like what days do you do your podcast?
Great question. The days that we do our podcast is on whenever you're available. So I will send you a calendar link and you look at your schedule and you match with my calendar and you schedule the podcast or the conversation. So that way it's convenient. You don't have to keep asking me like, what day and time are you available? No, absolutely not. Here's the calendar link. Figure out the day and time that works best for you. Schedule that, and then we can do the podcast like that.
Very good presentation. Thank you for coming back.
Thank you.
You did mention, aren't you networking with veterans groups also?
Yes, I am. Yes.
He's a veteran, and so he is supporting veterans as well. Here, and tell me if I'm wrong, because I see that this is a diminishing return. You teach them, and then they know, and then how long do they stay a client? And so I have a follow-up question with your answer to that.
Okay, great question. So in addition to teaching, we actually help them launch their podcast on the spot. One of the workshops that I did here, we actually record your content on the spot so that way you can start having small wins. And so not only are we teaching you podcasts, but we're actually helping you on the spot so you can continue to build your podcast. So it depends on how long people stay with us, but our goal is to help you be confident. And if you don't understand what you're doing, come back to us so we can continue help you continue to build your confidence.
Okay, so I think there are some people who will take your education, they'll get better and they'll run with it, and then they kind of go their way, but they're also a referral source because you help them. Then there are people who are so busy, they don't have the time to learn, to do anything. And cause I know I have a couple of business owners in my head who are like, they don't have time to take lunch. So I think that there is a value to what you're doing, and instead of catering to them, you could set up a day, like, because I know that there are apps out there that can take their videos and clip it and do it for them. I think that you could set up a day a month and break it down and say, I have an hour slot. And if you sign up now for 6 months, I will research the content that is going to respond and your viewers are going to react with. I'm charging you more because I'm doing all of that for you. And then they're just going to lap it up. They're going to keep coming back. And that way you are setting the schedule, you are setting all your production, you can have special bells and whistles there because you're going to book that out, however many you can have a day, and you continue to grow it from there. I think that's a solution.
And I appreciate that, Miranda. In addition to that, it's interesting. You just said something about 1 day a month. We actually help you record 3 episodes in 90 minutes. And now you have a month worth of content. So now all you have to do is sit down, record for 90 minutes, record, edit, publish, and all you have to do is just talk. So yes, that's great. Yes, sir.
I like how you were able to navigate the noise and stay focused on your presentations, great presentation.
Thank you.
I have a recommendation and a referral. Have you heard about this gentleman, name is Chris, does podcasting?
Chris, start with a K.
Yes.
Yeah. I've heard of him, but I haven't met him
So
yet.
he organized something called Podfest down in Orlando, where they bring all this podcasters from all over the place. So that's one recommendation. The other thing
He's
is,
one of our past organizers here.
yeah, he was a tax organizer. I didn't want to tell how old I am. But when this got established in 2014 is when I got out of nursing. So thanks for your service. Yeah.
Thank you for your support.
This was a great resource for me throwing things out. But yeah, so Chris, and then there's a Entrepreneurs on Fire. It's another veteran, so just check him out. Entrepreneurs on Fire. What he does is he interviews entrepreneurs every episode. So check it out, and that might be a resource for you if you have marketing hours, there's hours on that podcast. And then what will happen is if it gets traction, you can actually like replay it. That's not out in your business. So
I appreciate it. Just to confirm, John Lee Dumas, is that his name?
yes.
Okay. I don't know
He's a
him, but
veteran. Yeah.
okay. Thank you for that.
Yeah, I just want to follow up with her question because usually this is just for normal marketing. The process of market research and then like content, planning, and actually the execution. Is that like the same for the podcast too?
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. We do the research so that way the questions that we're asking or the conversation that we're having is all around your expertise and your authority. So that way, as when the clips get posted online, let's just say, what's your business? What's your business or what do you do?
I'm a business brokerage.
A business what?
Oh, business broker. Like,
Business brokerage.
Yeah.
Okay, so there's a lot of challenges that a lot of people face with business brokers. So now, as you being the authority of you being the expert, we will ask you questions to say, what's the biggest challenge when somebody working you with the broken mortgage or no, this question's tailored to you. So that way you're the expert and you're answering the questions that a lot of people have.
so basically making like the person, the owner, the expert in the room.
Absolutely. Yes.
Just a follow-up question, how long the preparation before the execution usually take?
How long is the preparation?
Yeah.
So let's just say, hypothetically speaking, we start working together today. And we will have a podcast strategy call just so we can understand your business, understand your customers, understand the problem that you're solving. So after today, let's say today is what, Wednesday? I don't know the exact date. Next week, we can get started. Like it happens that fast. Once we have the information, we can do our research. We can have the questions for 3 episodes. So now it's you don't have to wait or hesitate anymore. So within like 7 days, give or take.
I'm not a producer, and I know how challenging it can be for talent to, people who aren't used to talking, hearing themselves talk, showing up on camera, showing up on podcasts. It can be very hard for them to stop because they're like, I don't know if I can do this. So are you directing people and coaching people throughout the session so that they feel confident that they're going in the right direction?
Great question. In addition to that, Miranda, what you stated earlier, as far as like coaching and teaching, we actually did an event. We was a vendor booth, or how do you say? We was a vendor at the event at the Tampa Business Summer Expo, and 5 people actually launched their podcast with confidence, and it was hesitated, it was afraid. But here's the thing: when you sit down, we're coaching you, we're guiding you, we are informing you. This is what you talk about, but we're asking you questions around what you're doing. So who know you best than you? You. So we to answer your question, it's coaching in addition to execution on the spot.
I have a question. Great presentation, very fast.
Thank you.
But one of the strategies I tend to see with the podcasters that I watch on YouTube is that someone will bring in a guest, and then you'll see that same guest start going on all the channels that they're kind of related. But you're like, okay. So I call it like their speaker circuit. Since you said that you've worked with over, I think, 30 or plus entrepreneurs who started a podcast, do you offer something like that? Where now, okay, what kind of podcast are you doing? Well, I know 1, 2, 3 other people who have similar, where you can be a guest and start facilitating that kind of network or community.
Great question. Not at this moment, because the approach that we take is making you the authority first. When I did the interview with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers COO, I'm thinking like my podcast about to blow up and I'm about to be known everywhere. I wasn't. However, I'm the authority in podcast. That's credibility. We establish you as the credibility first. And then, like, we know how their service is now, but our focus is on helping you become the expert so you can grow your business, you can have more customers, you can have more trust. So our approach is different from that. Great question.
Let me go ahead.
This is actually following up on Miranda's previous question. So she mentioned competition with AI, where there are services that can do at least the editing portion, maybe not necessarily the coaching, although a ridiculous amount of Google searching may help. So I kind of want to know, when you talk to clients, how do you tell them I'm more worthwhile than you doing this research on your own? And how do you show them that the $300,000, $500,000 that they're going to put into you is going to return, and how fast it will return?
That is a great question. As far as like a return on investment, right? The return on investment is you build a trust. And whenever you start to work with new clients, it takes time for people to learn you, learn what you do, learn what problem you solve. And that video, the podcast, help shorten the sales cycle. So in other words, to answer your question, like how the return on investment, we focus on building the trust for your customers. So now when people start coming to you, they say, I seen you at this place, or I listened to your podcast, I listened to you on social media. That right there shortens your sales cycle because they're listening to you. So the return on investment, it's not a certain return on investment, but the trust is what makes a difference, because now when you have that trust, you can literally sell, talk to them more, and grow your business like that. Did I answer your question?
Yeah, okay.
So my advice kind of leans into that. As part of your presentation, I would suggest that you have a slide that has a QR code, and for everybody that knows me, I hate QR codes, also a website they can go to. And that before and after, I want you to have cuts of videos of showing somebody during the that consultation phase what the questions were that they had. Then cut to the first session where you were giving them advice. Then goes to the last one where they can watch the actual full product. Last thing, I want some testimonials. I got this much business after doing it. That is very powerful. And you would probably have most business owners in here taking a picture of that slide so they could watch it later.
Thank you. Thank you. So I just saw somebody else's hand was raised. Yes, sir.
So great job.
Thank you.
Huge step up from the last time you presented. I just want to say that this is such a huge resource for people. Because again, you might not have the time, you might have, it's editing. I edit a lot. Edit takes a lot of time. Again, that confidence is tough for people getting started. And then you come to them. That's huge. Like really hammer that, like, we come to your location or wherever you are comfortable, because a lot of people I've seen where they have to go to a studio, they might back out before they even get to that spot. But if you're coming to their house, their office, like they're already in a comfortable place, like make sure you really like hammer those pain points, because you kind of went over it pretty quickly. Those are huge values for the business owner and potential clients for you.
I appreciate that. Thank you for that. In addition to, you made me think about the second part of your question with AI. Yes, AI is here. Everybody know AI is here. The difference between us and AI is that, yes, you can use all the tools, but we help you do the tools. We help you use the tools. We use AI as well, but it's different from press and record, editing, publishing, managing. So we actually save you time because we use AI in addition to everything we're doing. So AI is not going to replace you. It's actually going to enhance you even better. So they make you faster, make you sound even better, So yeah, I wanted to come back on that. Thank you for that.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
I want to pile on to your question, if I can. I think it's an excellent question. It's hard to be the man in the arena. And so take that first step. So I think if you can minimize that first step for them by going to them and not making them come to you, that could be a differentiator for you. It requires a little more travel time, but once you're there, then they are committed to doing it.
Well, he does that now. That's what
I'm just saying, I think that continue to do that.
it's huge. That's a huge benefit.
I appreciate it. In addition to that, the cameras and stuff, all the bag underneath it, that's what we'll bring to you. So that way you don't have to have the equipment, the cameras. I typically show it like I literally will open the bag and then show you what's in the bag. But yes, to y'all point, y'all are absolutely correct. Somebody just raised their hand.
Are you currently involved with any organizations locally where people can see your work in the sense of you're teaching, you're doing a workshop for those people who may have they're thinking about a podcast, but they're not ready to actually get their toe in? My reason I ask that is for a lead generator for you, where you can start gathering their email address or something, so you can keep, showing them how you say, hey, this is what it will look like when you start, and to make them want to start, but also to know to reach out to you because you've been nurturing that relationship. Do you have a lead generator?
Great question. I actually have a podcast workshop today at 12:30 here. No, that was perfect. So
We have time for one more.
What was the coolest story that you experienced working with someone from when they started to where you got them 6 months later?
that is an interesting question. More than anything, interesting story is everyone who come onto the podcast, they are very intimidated by the cameras, by the lights, by looking professional, by sounding good, by making sure that I say what I would like to say. It's not a specific story. It's everyone who comes onto the camera who is hesitating to share their story, grow their business, and actually make a difference. And when they are sharing their story, after they share their story, they say, well, like, it wasn't that hard. It wasn't that hard because now the hesitation is removed, the confidence is built. More than anything, their confidence is built, and now they can market themselves effectively. So everyone has that hesitation, but as far as like a specific story, I don't have that right now at this moment. Great question.
All right, meeting's up. Amazing. Okay. So David's going to flip us over to our next presenter and switch out all our AP. And in the meantime, we will have our little moment of gratitude where we thank the people who make this possible for us every Wednesday. So first of all, let's thank Hillsborough County. This building, the Entrepreneurship Center, the ECC, is theirs, and they offer it to us as a partnership. So thank you to them for the space always. You can clap once at the end, don't worry. The second group we'd like to thank is Blind Tiger, our awesome coffee sponsors. It is 1 million cups after all. So you should be back there caffeinating off of our awesome coffee. Julia, who's with us, is one of their employees and helps make sure that happens every week. So thank you to Julia and to Blind Tiger. And also to Tori. Here she is. She's way back there. So Tori is our social media lead, and she does all of our social media through her own business, Nonchalant Creative. And again, all of this is volunteer and donation. So thank you, Tori, for your awesome coverage. We have a lot of organizers, as you picked up on, that make this happen. So some of them are here, some of them are not, but I want to make sure we acknowledge all of them. So Dr. Shane Smith, not here. Miranda Kelly is here. Julia, as I mentioned. Walter, who's in the back. Pamela, David, me, Tori, Lynn, Cassidy, and David. And also thanks to Shayla, who is with the ECC, and they are also my wardrobe crew today. So extra thanks to Shayla and David. Anybody have any questions about how 1 million cups works sort of nationwide? I know we sort of like went past that really quickly. Any questions about the chapters and how that works? Okay, awesome. All right, well, thank you. We are going to turn it over to our second sponsor, Melissa Neeley with the Ryan Nece Foundation.
Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
My name is Melissa Neeley, and I run the Ryan Nece Foundation. Although we are 20 years old, and I know this space a lot of times is meant for startups, our growth journey is just getting started, and that's why I'm here today. It's hard to believe in a room full of people who are here to support each other's success that these statistics on the screen are true, but our students are disengaged. Volunteer participation is at an all-time low. 60% of students want to help, but they don't know how. 42% of students are reporting hopelessness and depression, and Florida ranks dead last in civic engagement. We were founded in 2006 by former Tampa Bay Buccaneer Ryan Nece. He was on our very first Super Bowl winning team. And so none of our students that we work with today were alive, and that makes me feel really old. And so he was passionate about the idea of investing in teens around the idea of the power of giving. And is that idea and our core value is that anyone can use their 4 T's, their time, treasure, talents, or ties to give back to the community. And so he launched this more specifically in 2013 with a model that was community-based, and it is now grown into 17 high schools here across Greater Tampa Bay, where we serve 2,100 kids on a monthly basis. Ryan started this foundation because at the time, there were so many messages that were like, Sprite, obey your thirst. Burger King, have it your way. And those messages are still true today in teens world. Everything is individually motivated instead of community centered. And so that's what the problem we solve through our 2 programs. So in 2013, we launched our student service program. You can see our students here at one of their monthly lessons. So a business usually hosts us each month, and we cover things like time management, core values, goal setting, problem solving. And it's such a neat model because right now we have 65 juniors and seniors enrolled in that program. They serve for 2 years, and they're from 42 different high schools. So they get to meet people from all across the Tri-County area. They get to hear from business leaders, and they get to bond with one another on a deeper level, as well as we take them on a service learning trip each year, and they serve every month at a different nonprofit. Our goal by the time they graduate this program is that they have a very holistic view of what any need in a community is, and they can align where their passion is as they take that next step. Our student service club model was actually founded just a few years ago when I came in 5 years ago and realized how inaccessible this model is. Students struggle with transportation. Maybe they're working after school jobs. Maybe their parents work multiple jobs and they just can't get them to a secondary location. So in our student service club model, we are at 17 high schools and we remove all of those barriers to access. We send someone to them once a month to receive this wonderful education. And then we fully fund a field trip at least once a year, but twice a year if they opt into a second time, where we cover transportation. We take them to Feeding Tampa Bay. They get to do warehouse sorting, or we've taken them to the primate sanctuary, wherever the classrooms have decided that they really want to plug in. And so that model has grown exponentially, and our board, and we have a board member here today, Keisha, shout out. That model, our board has strategically invested in over the last few years. But I'm here today to ask for help in trying to see how we can continue to scale that growth as nonprofits struggle. So that's a little bit about the Ryan Nece Foundation.
Thank you. Okay, so as you started to sort of lean into it, but what are the ways that our community can help you?
Yes, we are always looking for connections. So being able to spread awareness. Ryan played football over 2 decades ago, and although some of people my age or older know who he is, his notoriety doesn't really get us as much as further as it did 20 years ago. And he would be the first to say that. But making connections, so allowing, if you know any space where we can share about the work we do, we're always looking for that. Investing in a student. Every student that's involved in our community-based model right now is paired one-on-one with a mentor for 2 years. That mentor meets with them quarterly in a virtual setting. So it's not a huge commitment from a mentor, but it's still life-changing for both the mentor and the mentee to make those connections. It also costs us $20 a student to sponsor a student each month. So we're investing in 2,100 students on a monthly basis. So you can do some of that math, but we're always looking for help in that area. And then give your expertise. In our school-based model, we have 2 months where we're looking for volunteers to come in and let students see that it's not just us buying into them. There's community members, there's people who are out there who want to share their expertise, want to show up for them outside of their school. So those are the 3 ways we hope that you could be in our corner. I already see you. It's so exciting. I saw yours first and then I'll come to you.
Open the floor.
Yes.
So, I got 2 questions.
Yes.
So, one, you say you got 17 high schools that you're working with?
2,100 students at 17 schools.
Any of those schools a charter school?
Not.
For instance, I know, where I used to go to high school, they used to have a program for kids with special needs to be allowed to do this as well.
Sure.
Where it would give them a room to grow and have an organization like this to help them. Is that something that you guys would be open to, potentially getting more students, more schools involved?
100%. It does take capacity. So right now we have a wait list of 7 schools. But we do work with kids of all needs. We have in our community-based model, we have a few students from Pepin. So we're always looking for partnerships with schools and to touch more children's lives.
You say you do work with Pepin Academy then?
Yes, we don't go to them currently on a monthly basis, but we have 2 students right now that are in our community-based model. I saw you next and then you and me, but.
So you mentioned that you have 1,700 kids that provide service.
Yes.
That's a lot. What kind of commitment do you have with these kids? Like just one example of what you do with them and what kind of experiences they get.
Sure. Yeah. Thank you so much. That's a great question. I meant to end with this story. It's one of my favorites. Because it still showcases the incredible impact we're having at the school-based model, which isn't as intense or intimate as community-based, but even in our school-based model, for example, we went to Gaither High School, we did a time management lesson. We taught students the Eisenhower matrix method. And then when we come back each month, we survey the students from what takeaways did they have last month? How have they implemented it? One student, his name was Brandon. He said he used the Eisenhower method to build out his planner better. And he hadn't been eating dinner with his family because he just felt so overwhelmed. But it was a goal that he wanted because he enjoyed having dinner with his family. And so he used the tools and methods we gave him. And he came back that next month and said he was eating dinner with his family again. So we get 1,000 surveys each month from our students, and there's so many valuable tools that they're taking away from the work we're doing. And so it's important work. And we're still touching, even though it's 2,100 kids, each one of those stories makes it worth it.
And how is my second question is, I want to be part of that. Like, how do I reach out? Who do I speak to? And how can I?
Me. You can talk to me today. I forgot my cards. I don't know how I did that, but our website, ryannesefoundation.org, it'll say how to get involved is one of our tabs, and there's apply to be a mentor. Or if you send me an email, melissa@ryannesefoundation.org, that will have our school. I can send you our school-based link. which is right now how you can apply to do like,
Okay, we'll talk.
yes, I love it. That's exactly what we need. Yes. And then I'll,
My question is, how are you funded? And secondly, if you're funded through our current taxes and all of that, how are you prepared to pivot should November they take away the property taxes?
thank you for that question. Currently, we receive no federal, county, any tax dollar revenue. I have watched those trends since I started 5 years ago and knew that it was not something we should trust in. So our board's done a really fabulous job of diversifying our revenue based on events, individual donors, corporate dollars. We are currently running a deficit because of all the investments we made. It was a strategic deficit that we planned for. That time is going to run out on the amount of time we're allowed to operate that way, but we did plan for a 3-year deficit model to scale this growth in hopes that it would change more lives, but also open the doors to more funding. But right now nonprofits are struggling. I just got an email, which we have been a recipient of children's board dollars before, and I read how it's going to impact them greatly. But right now it's not going to impact us. Yes.
So I'm an educator. I was the one, the knowledge, skills, and abilities, and then y'all like went, yeah. I wonder, what is your program in terms of educational content, like in general? And what is your program evaluation to say that this is actually improving depression, getting children engaged, and the outcomes you're striving are achieved? And what is your board asking of you to show?
Great question. I had all of those, but I was told that it was too many words on the screen. We went through a really hardy training with United Way Suncoast called Results First. And so we track everything via those surveys a month later to track the changes that students are actually making in their day-to-day lives based on our lessons. And so right now, 60% of our students are actually reporting back to us that they've made a change. That's helped with their confidence. That's helped with building connections like networking. And then when they go to Feeding Tampa Bay or one of the service location opportunities, they talk about how they walked away from that experience feeling better, with their cup full, that they talk to people that they didn't usually talk to in their classes. And so to tell you a little bit about our model and our lessons, we partner primarily with AVID. So that's a classroom that stands for Advancement via Individual Determination. It usually serves the academic middle. So these are the students who are C students, but really should be A-B students with more support. It could be first-generation college students. AVID reports at the national level that about 75% of their students are underserved, low income backgrounded. And so our mission is to, Ryan is a full believer that the more like cross neighborhood interactions our kids can have, the stronger our community is. So we don't primarily serve Title I schools, but my personal goal and our board's personal goal is that we serve about 75% Title I schools. So that's where we are right now, through the community or through the school-based model. And then some lessons, we do time management, core values, goal setting. Our program director is former educator with Nellis County Schools. She builds out all of our curriculum. It's beautiful.
Is there a lot of that, or I shouldn't say a lot of, how do you address the soft skills problems that we're seeing in this Gen Z? I'm just wondering, do you teach anything?
Yes, all the time. So the biggest thing is that what I love about our lessons is they make the students talk with one another, which is addressing that gap in the biggest way. So we have students, like the very first thing they do in the classroom is like a team, an icebreaker, and we'll have them pair up with someone you don't usually talk to. Tell them what was the hardest day in your life, and then swap stories, and then tell them about the best day in your life. And the more conversations like that we're having these students have, the more comfortable they're getting with each other, and the less They're looking like this. Yes.
Yeah, their soft skills are a real, we're seeing it as they're graduating high school. And now they're adults in early learning environments, adult learning, trade schools. They're very disengaged, like in trade schools, falling asleep in class in trade school. So as adults, they're graduating from high school and they take that on to even programs where they're on wait lists and get in, and then they disengage, burn out. And the soft skills are hugely a big problem in adult. It's not getting better. It's actually not. So like your program is something we need more in teens right now. And it's only like this little tiny 1% are getting that. And then they're graduating as adults and in their trades and professions, they're burning out, they're disengaged, and they're not community oriented. So it's not like it's changing. They graduate and suddenly they have soft skills. It's like a whole generation of COVID victims is what I feel it is.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yes. Yeah, this is like a great thing that you are doing because I used to volunteer with or teaching students, but it's more like whole format. And I know one thing is that this is kind of like way more difficult because like students who are already more introverts, you would say they haven't give up like help them to commit to the program and come to the program because I think getting over kind of like the anxiety and the depression to come to there is also a huge commitment for them.
So our in-school model, we come to them, meet them directly in a class period they're already going to. So they have to do our programming. In community-based, we are looking for students who, and we have the gamut of introvert versus extrovert in that one, but they do have to go through an application process. They have to decide that they're going to sign up for that because it is a commitment. We're asking them to come to us twice a month. But the school-based model, we go to them, and when we see someone in the classroom who's not participating, we go up to them and we talk to them. That's probably my favorite part is like by the third month I'm there, the students are like, Miss Melissa's here today. So it's truly like our team is just so student-centered that we're trying to meet the kids exactly where they are. And we know that looks different. And which is what I'm an introvert. So at the end of that day, I go home and I read my book under the covers and like, don't talk to me. Yes.
Yeah, so one kind of comment and then one question.
Yes.
First is that I wonder if you guys could actually train the schools to then take up some of this method so that you're not having to just go in, because it also sounds like you guys may not have enough staff to kind of keep expanding this. Is that right?
Yeah. We've talked about that model a lot at a board level. One, we feel like the students really value engagement beyond their teacher. Like it's one, and we hear it from the teachers too. It's one thing for the teacher to say, you need to do X, Y, Z to be successful. But when you bring in an outsider who's also showing buy-in, the students hear that message in a completely different avenue, and then they start acting on it, even though the teacher has said it 8 times. It takes the one other person to come say it. The second thing is when we turn over that curriculum to someone else, you lose the ability to have control over it. So making sure that's implemented the way it was intended to, that the results are being tracked the way they're supposed to. So we just haven't figured out a way to do that yet. But one thing we have started exploring, and I'd be open to hearing any feedback on this, is like a train the trainer model where we have volunteers who make a 1-day month commitment for the whole school year. So that's where it's hard, is that it's 1 day per month for the whole school year, plus a 4-hour training each month to learn the curriculum, get trained at it, and then go 1 whole day in the school. So, yeah.
So to that end, actually, in the way he was talking about charter schools, actually private schools may be a way to go for this.
Yeah.
My brother went to private school and I watched them work those kids to the bone, because like while there's way more opportunities, the competition is also really high, and so they're struggling with they're
Different,
struggling also with anxiety and depression, but from a very
different perspective. Yeah.
And one of the things I'm thinking about is when you're talking about the deficit, even though it's calculated, that may be kind of a source of revenue where you essentially have the rich schools have the money to pay for your services, and then that money can then be distributed across all the schools that need your help, some of which you're giving help for effectively free or with third-party funding. But that brings me to my actual question, which is, you said you wanted our help scaling. Where are you scaling to if you don't have the personnel?
It's the thinking of scaling in a different way outside of revenue. I mean, we're always looking for revenue streams. I won't lie in saying that, but also like these growth models that don't necessarily rely on a paid staff person. So if you have any ideas around that, we, in another sense too, we are scaling to, Ryan is in the venture capitalist space in San Francisco area. We are also working on scaling out there where there is more dollars. Our hope is that scaling will trickle down into this area too. So that is one area of growth. I saw back there and then there and then there.
And I want to speak to your same statement he just made.
Yeah.
And I just looked at your board of directors, and forgive me if I sound out of order.
No.
You have a very strong board of directors. You just said that Ryan is in California in venture capital. These individuals that are in here, at the end of the day, when you look at your board and all the people you have every tool, or they have access to things that we don't have access to. So my question is, what is it that what's the limited thing that we can do truly with, because when I look at, and I'm a frequent here, this setting, these people don't even come in our circle, the people that's on your board.
I have a board member here right now. Can she answer that question?
Because I really want to know, because again, you know, 20 years of service. I looked at your website. You guys are doing some phenomenal things. Your president or founder, he's in the venture capitalist space. It seems like they should be coming here delivering to us how you help us get to where he's at. So unpackage that for me, because I'm trying to unpack it in my head when I think about what these entrepreneurs in here are seeking. So go for it, please.
Sure. Can I answer first and then Keisha, you can dive in. We've found that people are tapped out and our services are still needed, but funding is going down and down each year because nonprofits are struggling. And Ryan personally gives 50 grand of his own money each year. I'll be honest in saying that. That's what he can give to this organization. Super Bowl champion or not, he wasn't Derek Brooks. He wasn't Rondé Barber. He wasn't someone who, and yes, he's in the VC space, but he also, every strategic ask he's doing to also for his business. So, but I think it's huge that he still engages in this community and pours so much into it, even though he doesn't even live here anymore. So I think that's a huge testament to him. Keisha, if you want to dive in, you're a board member.
So what I do want to say about the Ryan Nece Foundation and why I started volunteering with them, because I didn't just appear on the board one day. It's not like Melissa Bowes, just like, oh, you've established yourself, come on. No, I started volunteering for where I was in life. And when it comes to working with students, especially students at Title I schools, especially students from low-income backgrounds, they don't want to see the fully established, polished person come speak to them at their school. That does not, it just, like, we need people who can actually share their story. So like, for instance, when one of the first events that I volunteered with them was a career panel. My journey looked completely different than some of the other panelists. In that class, they needed that. They needed that real diversity of, oh, she looks like me. Oh, okay, she didn't just, I didn't go to college. So they needed to hear, oh, there is a way to reach a certain level without having gone through a traditional route. So yes, we have an amazing board and they all contribute in different ways. But when it comes to who we want in front of the students and who we want to like mentor and really serve, like we need a variety. So like, for instance, for my entrepreneurs here who have workshops, I just held a workshop last month and I chose the Ryan Nece Foundation as my nonprofit of the month, where we were able to bring awareness. And that didn't cost money, but it was my way of giving back because I know that they're touching students. If you have workshops or you host events, maybe that's another way too for you as a business owner to invest in your community and people that you say you want to help the next generation. Then maybe give 5 minutes to a nonprofit of the month to share that awareness. And that's your way of contributing because you know that they're giving it back to the students in so many ways.
All right, let's do one more question. And Melissa, you have time to stay after if people.
Of course,
Okay.
yeah.
I was just gonna share the way to spread your message. Do you
Thank you.
watch television?
I do.
All right, so Spectrum offers like businesses a way to promote themselves, so that might be a good opportunity. And the other tip would be, it doesn't matter how long he's been out of Tampa Bay. I mean, Tampa Bay, has won, what, how many?
Two Super Bowls.
Yeah, in the last, 5 years?
First thing to win it
So
all.
what I recommend is he needs to put his face out there, do some kind of a presentation, and then.
Grab Tom Brady.
This outcomes. Take one of those students that actually went from. And yeah, try to get something in line, and maybe go something, talk about it and put it on Spectrum and see results.
And I was gonna bounce off of that because if Ryan reached out to the Buccaneers, to the Glazier Foundation, to the Glazier family themselves, as a former Buccaneer, I don't see why they wouldn't be interested in helping this foundation out, as they have so many other foundations that they're in as well.
They give us $5,000 a year, which is amazing. But I think I just want people to think that they give, because Ryan's a player, they give thousands and thousands of dollars. Yeah, no, thank you. Yes.
All right, thanks, everybody. This has been a great session. All right, so David's gonna come and give us the view of next week here at the ECC, but just a quick thanks to all of you for showing up. This was definitely not the summer sleepy crowd, so love that for us. So please come back next week, of course, and please keep bringing your friends, and please keep posting on social media. It's huge for us.
Before we get into networking, I just have a few announcements. So today at 10:30, after networking in this room, we have Extra Jolt, the blueprint for building your brand. Robin, what is that about?
So you come here with an idea, a vision, a dream. How do you turn that idea, vision, or dream into a brand with a distinct identity that you can use it? Like that. Need a blueprint. That's what we're doing at 10:30. Robin Richards, Brain Sparks Marketing.
Thank you, Robin. Also at 10:30, you're gonna have to make some choices today. In the front room, we have graphic design tools with the Hillsborough County Public Library. The presenter's in there now, so if you want to go talk to him to see what kind of tools that he's gonna be teaching, he's in there. And then at 12:30, as Terrell said, we have launching your podcast with confidence. Terrell, what is that instill?
Glad you asked. Let's get a bunch of podcasts with companies, workshop where we go from, you know, having podcasts, you have the companies, never the workshop. So this is today at 12:30.
Thank you, Terrell. And then I have one community announcement from a past presenter. It's the Vecina Cafe. They presented, I think, about 6 months ago to a year. But on July 26th, on to Sunday, from 12 p.m. to 4 p.m. at Keels Farm in Plant City, they're doing a community vendor market. If you want to be a vendor there, I can send you the information. I believe they're not charging, but if they are, I apologize. But they're a great community member. They're very good at promoting 1 million cups. So if anybody wants to go out there and promote 1 million cups for us, we would thank that. Thank you very much. But thank you, everybody. We'll get to networking. I know we don't have too much time, but thank you for joining us today.